Okay, this is another video in my journey through macular degeneration, or at least that's what one retina specialist thinks I have. I have one retina specialist that thinks that I had central serous retinopathy at one time and maybe recurring, and then I have one retinal specialist that thinks I have a variant of macular degeneration, dry macular. The reason he called it a variant was that he thought I was very young to be suffering from dry macular degeneration. But my journey goes back to the 1990s and maybe even before that. In 1998, I started noticing blind spots in my vision at twilight at night. We had a St. Bernard at that time, and we would go visit some friends that had a large dog also. And there were a few times when we were there in the late evening at their house, and I would look out at the two dogs, and there would be moments where I couldn't see them in the lower part of my vision. So I started noticing that I had blind spots. I noticed that then at home. It seems like it came on, it didn't seem like it came on gradually, like macular degeneration is supposed to come on, but or the dry anyway. But it seemed to come on just all of a sudden there in 1998. I've had doctors tell me that it probably couldn't have, that it just had gradually happened and I just noticed it. So I was 45 years old in 1998. So if I have dry macular degeneration, then I probably had it even before the age of 45, probably around the age of 40 or even before that. But anyway, I would notice these blind spots. And then I started noticing the blind spots of a morning in the early light of dawn, when I would wake up and there would be some light coming in our windows in the bedroom. I would look up and I would be able to see these blind spots. And then as the early morning hours wore on, I would see this coffee stain. The spots would not still be blind, but I would see this coffee stained look in those blind spots until the light of day became brighter. And then I no longer saw the coffee stains, no longer had blind spots, did not have the blind spots in the daylight hours, but always at twilight, always when it was dark, and always early morning. For years and years, that's the way my vision was, until the winter of 2013. I was on the playground at school in the winter. It was either February or the first part of March. And I look out at the kids and I see their heads and the upper parts of their bodies, and I was blind. I had blind spots from their waist down to almost their feet. And this was just all of a sudden. That's when I went to a retinal specialist, and he told me that I had probably a variant of dry macular degeneration. This was in 2013. So I was 60 years old at that time. He thought I was pretty young to be having that and I could tell. I was out in his waiting room, and most of the people in there were in their 70s or 80s. I didn't see anyone else that was 60 or younger. But anyway, I had those blind spots. And in 2013, those blind spots became visible, I guess you'd say, in the daylight too, as well as in the twilight and darkness. I did not have any of the coffee stain type look to those blind spots. They were just blind spots. My St. Bernard's getting a little antsy here. Gonna have to let her out if she wants to go out. You want to go out, Harper? There you go. But anyway, back to this. In the last few years, I've also developed in those blind spots kind of a shimmering light. It's almost like you look out onto a lake and the sunlight is shimmering off of the lake, or if you look out of an evening and the moon is shining on the lake and it shimmers on the lake. My blind spots, the outsides of my blind spots, are lined with these shimmerings, which I've always wondered, are those flashers? Because they always say if you have flashers, get to the retinal specialist quickly because you might have a detached retina. Well, I experienced those. Now, are they always there? No. It's at various times. I haven't investigated it and written it down as to when these shimmerings are, but they're there quite a lot, and they do circle the outer portions of my blind spots. And I've also developed blind spots, small ones, in the upper part of my vision, and just recently they have started doing that twinkling or shimmering of lights. So, and I'd like to know a little bit more about that. I've really not read of people having that, and if any of you that are watching this video on my journey through macular degeneration have ever had that experience of your blind spots having that shimmering around it, let me know. Put it in the comments. Now, I also want to say that shimmering looks very similar to me to an ocular migraine. I do have those from time to time. Not very often, but I have them. But that shimmering of the optical or optic migraines, it travels across my vision. And it's in both eyes when I have those migraines. And that shimmering will start on one side of my vision in both eyes and go to the other, and it takes about 20 minutes. And as it goes across my vision, that area is blind. If I'm looking at the computer screen, I can't see it with my central vision. And even in my peripheral vision, when it goes across it, I don't have good peripheral vision when I have those optical migraines. But it's very similar to that. So anyway, I kind of want this video out there to help people with macular degeneration that are going through the same things that I am, and also to help me because I'm not sure exactly what kind of eye condition that I have, because I've had one doctor say, well, that's central serous retinopathy and it has corrected itself, but you do have some damage from it. And then I have another doctor that says, well, you have a variant of dry macular degeneration. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today was blind spots. And those blind spots, by the way, I guess, are what's called geographic atrophy in late stage dry macular degeneration. But thank you for watching. And if you like this, click like. If you want to make a comment or help me out a little bit with your experience, put it in the comments below. Thank you very much.